Yes. Okay. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. This shiur is לעילוי נשמת אליהו בן אסתר, right? תהיה נשמתו בקנה עדן בעזרת השם, שיעמוד בתפילה כל המשפחה בעזרת השם. So, what are we doing today? We're learning, we're starting a series of the Jewish home. How to educate the children the right way, how to build a good foundation, okay? How to build a house, how to have relations the right way. And I would like to start and say something about this fact. Researchers show that even by the animals, okay, they have a lot of intelligence there. The animal that has the most intelligence, they say, is the monkey. And they found some levels of intelligence there. And the biggest question is like that. Let's say monkeys have 40%, 50% intelligence than human being, okay? We saw that the human being developed so many things throughout the years, okay? All kind of innovations, all kind of inventions, huge inventions, spaceships, and rockets, and airplanes, and air conditioners, and computers, and I don't know, all kind of gadgets for our use, you know, in the kitchen, in the household, outside, everywhere. Why don't we see anything by these monkeys? Let them develop throughout the years a simple watch. Let them invent, I don't know, a fork, a plate, a pan, something simple. We don't see these. Why don't we see that? Why don't we see that these animals, they were able to progress in life, to do something with their intelligence? This is because animals, they don't deliver, they don't pass on any of the intelligence that they have to the next generation. Not like human being. Human being, they do. Whatever I know, whatever information I got all through the years, whatever knowledge I have, whatever, everything, human beings, usually they pass it on to their children, to the next generations. They teach it in schools, in colleges, in universities. And this is how these things are spread and people get to invent more stuff and more stuff. Everything is based on whatever. So every generation, you don't start from scratch. You already base your knowledge on the previous generations, whatever they taught you. And this is what I want to tell you. It says in Mishlei, says Shlomo HaMelech, Shema beni musar avicha ve'al titosh Torah emecha. You have to listen to the moral that your father is going to teach you, and don't abandon the Torah, whatever your mother is going to inherit into you. In order for the child to accept from the parents, it's our obligation as parents to inherit to the children all kind of information, all kind of understandings that we have understood throughout the years, all kind of ideas, all kind of thoughts, all kind of wills, all kind of wishes, all kind of warnings, all kind of examples, all whatever our experiment from the past, all this we have to inherit it to the next generation. It says about Avraham Avinu, why did Hashem chose him to be the leader of Am Yisrael, to be the patriarch, the father of Am Yisrael? Because Hashem know, he says, Ki yeda'ativ, I know, leman asher tzaveh banav, he's going to command his children, or whatever I taught him, that they would keep the way of Hashem, okay? Whatever Avraham got, Hashem tested him so many times. He didn't keep this test just to himself. Whatever knowledge that he got from this, whatever moral that he learned from that, he didn't keep it to himself. He passed it on to his children. And that's the beauty of Avraham Avinu. So look at this. Abraham and Sarah, as a couple, they suffered very much. It wasn't easy for them. They struggled a lot. They had to leave their family, their city, their country, their homeland. Okay, forget about the culture that you used to, forget about the language that you knew, forget about your money and all whatever possessions you had over there. You have to leave everything behind and go to a different land where you don't know anything. What type of land is there? Even where is that land, they don't know. They just have to go until they'll understand this is what Hashem wanted from them. And all this time, Sarah, she's barren. They don't have children, not Abraham and Sarah. They don't have kids. And it's not easy for a woman to go through all these changes, okay? And not to have any doubt in Emunah, any doubt in her faith in Hashem.
I was about to ask you that question.
And on top of this, she doesn't have kids. And they got so much promises. Hashem keeps promising them again and again, and he promises and he promises, and looks like nothing happens with these promises. And all this time, she cooperates with her husband completely. It says that Abraham used to convert men, and Sarah used to convert female. Meaning, she was a part with all whatever his ideology was, whatever he believed in, whatever he preached for. She was there. If it's giving classes, if it's guiding them, if it's all kind of questions and answers, if it's everything, she's there, he's there for them. And a prophet, Yeshayahu, he says in his prophecy, look at your father Abraham and your mother Sarah. They devoted themselves so much to Hashem and to the Torah, and they were modest, and yet they influenced on so many people, thousands and thousands of people they influenced on. And still all these years that Sarah lives with Abraham. And it says about her, Vesara Shoma'at. Sarah was listening. She kept listening to Abraham all the time. Let's say you're married to your husband for 20 years. Okay? He tells you a joke. You heard this joke so many times already. He tells you a certain story. You know all these stories by heart. You know all these examples. You say to yourself, I heard this. Give me something new. And Sarah, she lived with her husband many, many years. When she gave birth eventually to Yitzchak, she was 80. Okay? And so she lived till 127. So they were many, many years together. Okay? More than 100 years together. Never said, I heard this before, give me something new. She kept listening to him. She was always interested in knowing another Dvar Torah, another Chidur. So give me, what else should I tell them? Always looked at her husband as he's her role model. He will teach her everything. He's her teacher. He's her guide in life. That's the beauty of Abraham and Sarah. And her reward was that Hashem tells Abraham, whatever Sarah tells you, Shema Bekola. You have to listen to her. Because she was listening to him, so now he needs to listen to her. Because in a way she was, in prophecy, she was much higher than Abraham Avinu. So see how important it is to respect each other. There is a famous story, and I think maybe you heard it in the past, about Bill and Hillary Clinton. Okay? They were once going in a car, and they needed to fill up their gas, so they pull out into a gas station. And as she sits there and she waits for the car to fill up with gas, she sees the gas station attendant over there. And she looks at him and says, oh my gosh, I went out with him once. And but yet she sees his overall, full with stains of oil, and so not disrespectful job. And her husband tells her, imagine yourself, you would get married to this guy, a gas station attendant. She tells him, if I would really get married to him, he would become the president. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I heard that.
Smart.
there is a book that wrote Rav Yitzchak Zilberstein, a very important rabbi in Israel. He lives in Ramat HaChanan. He's the rabbi of Ramat HaChanan. He's this, I believe, the son-in-law of Rav Eliashiv. And he says, in his book, there's a different version of this kind of a story.
Mm-hmm.
So a rabbi goes with his wife in a car, and in the back there's this boy, their son, sitting in the back. And they pull into this gas station, and they need to fill up the gas. So she looks at the guy there, and she tells to her husband, oh my gosh, I went out with him once.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Are you
tells...
allowed, I'm sorry for interrupting, are you allowed to mention about these things? With who you went out with while you're married?
You can talk about all kind of stuff. You don't have to start talking slander and lashon hara about people in your past. But let's say you saw somebody and you say, oh, his name once passed, I had some kind of incident with him or something, it's okay. So she tells him, if this shidduch would come out, if something would come out of it, I would be today a wife of a gas attendant guy. Okay? And so her husband, he was a very noble man, and he tells her, if he would have them married to marry you, he would become a great rabbi. He gave this honor to her. That's because of her that he himself became a rabbi. Even though, you don't just become a rabbi, you have to put so much hours and effort and devotion and learning hours and everything. But still, he gave this honor to his wife. He said, if you would get married to him, he would become also a rabbi. That's how he told her.
But a lot of things comes from a support of the wife.
Of course. So support of a wife and support of a husband.
Right.
Together, this is what, and when their little son sits in the back and they see this kind of a dialogue between the parents, what is he thinking?
Nice things about
The
it.
father praises the mother praises the father, and it's beautiful, right? This gives so much power. This gives so much strength to this little boy. You have no idea. When the parents, they live in harmony, is the greatest thing that can happen to the children. And so this is rule number one in education. You want to have healthy, normal children, first, husband and wife should live in harmony, should respect each other, should appreciate each other. Once there's a good atmosphere at home, this is when the kids are coming out outstanding, good children. So a lot of people are asking, we learn about the story about Avraham Avinu sacrificing his son. Okay, Hashem is asking him go sacrifice on one of the mountains, and he goes to. Yitzchak at that point is not a little child. Yitzchak is 37 years old. If you think about this, he's mature, he's old enough. Physically, he is even stronger than his father. His father is 137. How come? Abraham tells him, I have to sacrifice you. And this is something that they don't believe in usually. They never, they were going against this kind of ideology, kill somebody for the sake of something. How come Yitzchak keeps quiet and let his father do whatever he wants? How come he doesn't object? How come he is not refusing? It says in one of the Midrashim that he is even asking his father, Father, please tie me up so I won't hit you and I won't kick you, and because naturally, that's what I'll do. And And again I'm saying that in a house that the father respects the mother and the mother respects the father, this is when these outstanding children are coming up, are raised in these kind of families. It says that right after the Akedah, and some say this was the test number 11 to Avraham Avinu, he heard that Sarah died. Hello? I did such a great heroic thing and this is my reward? My wife is dead? Mm-hmm. My beloved one? He could never, I don't know, in 1,000 years couldn't find such a woman. So it says, ויבוא אברהם לספוד לשרה ולבכותה. He came to give eulogy and to cry for this great woman. And the Midrash says, מאיפה בא? From where did he come? מהר המוריה. Okay, so what was the greatness of Sarah? That she raised a child like Yitzchak, that was willing to die on Kiddush Hashem, to be sacrificed for the name of Hashem. And this is only because Sarah inherited into him. Kids are not growing up just like that. Okay? It comes from somewhere. It comes from the parents. It says that, I don't know if you know about that, but Abraham, he had a coin, famous coin, that he could make business with this. Okay? Like sometimes kings and very, very important people have coins. This is what Abraham had. From one side was a picture of an old man and an old woman, and from the other picture side was a picture of a young man and a young woman. Mm-hmm. So they say that the old man and the old woman were Abraham and Sarah. The young man and the young woman was Yitzchak and Rivka. And what was the idea behind this? Abraham is trying to, and Sarah, they are trying to educate their child, their son. So the other side of the coin will be the exact reflection of them. And he was able to do it. Mm-hmm. Yitzchak and Rivka were the same reflection of Abraham. Whatever Abraham was preaching, the same was Yitzchak. And this is called education. It says, "Ve'Hashem berach et Abraham bakol." What is it, bakol? Now Rashi says the gematria, numeric value of bakol is ben. Hashem blessed him with a son, special son, like Yitzchak Avinu. But it says there that Hashem blessed him with so many other things. He blessed him with a lot of cattle. He was rich, a lot of wealth, gold and money and whatever he wanted. And also, he was the king. They crowned him to be the king. Okay, they made him. They were so shocked by his personality. The kings after he made the war, that they crowned him to be their king. So he got everything. He got fame. He got money. He got everything. But Abraham tries to say that all this is nothing if he doesn't have a child that will follow his way. If a guy is rich, he has a huge house, he has a yacht, he has, I don't know, whatever you want, buildings and this and that, but his children are not going his way, what's the point of all this? Abraham had all this plus a son that he inherited him all, whatever he believed in. This is called Jewish continuity. And now, from the other side, after we know that Sarah, when she saw that she doesn't have children, she asked her husband if he can marry Hagar. So, Hagar, she was a daughter of a king of Egypt. And the king of Egypt, he saw that Abraham and Sarah are so great people. He says, better you be a slave in this house, great house, instead of being a princess in my house. So he sent her there. So once Sarah sees that she cannot get pregnant, she went and she asked her husband to marry Hagar. Now, apparently Hagar didn't have these great qualities that Sarah had. And how do we know? Look at the fruits. She had Ishmael, okay? And Ishmael זה ידו בכל ויד כל בו, he's wild, whatever, I don't have to tell you what is Ishmael. On top of this, after Sarah passed away, so Yitzchak made Abraham get married again to Hagar. Who cares? He has to get married
She
again.
still was princess of Egypt.
And it says, some say Hagar, some say Keturah, her name. And it says that ויוסף אברהם ויקח אישה ושמה קטורה. Now her name is Keturah. Why? Because some people say, some commentaries, that after she left Abraham, she went back to her nation, she went back to idol worshipping, whatever she used to be. But now that Abraham marries her again, her name is Keturah. She changed her name now. What is Keturah? Ketoret in Hebrew is the spices that they used to do. In the Holy Temple, we used to have spices. And it's a good smells and whatever. And this is how she called herself now. Basically, when it says, I'll stop it here, and I want to say something here. It says when Hashem wanted to give the Torah to the Jewish nation, he first went and offered it to the other nations. So he comes to Edom. Edom would be Rome and Greece and Christianity. This is Edom, and he tells them, "You want me to give you the Torah?" And they're asking, "And what's written in the Torah?" And he tells them, it says in the Torah that you're not allowed to kill other people. He says, but we can't. It says about Esav that al charbcha techyeh means you should live upon your sword. This is our money. This is what we do. Killings. That's the most important thing for us. I wrote it down and I'm looking where did I write it down. And then it says that he went to Ishmael, to the Arabs. And he tells them, do you want to accept the Torah? And they say, what's written in the Torah? And they say, it says, lo tigno, not to steal. What do we know about Ishmael? Yado bakol. Yeah. So they say, it's not for us, we cannot... So this is how he goes from nation to nation, from nation to nation, and they all say, we just can't. Mm-hmm. So then it says that he came to the Jews, and he offered them, and they didn't ask what's written in the Torah. They said, Naaseh, first we should do, Venishma, and then we will listen. We don't care. We will do. We will accept. The big question is, why? If you want to offer some merchandise, you want them to buy, jewelry, would you show the best of the stuff, or you would show the defect? If you want people to buy it, you would sell the best of the stuff, right? Why, when Edom are asking what's written in the Torah, Hashem tells them, don't kill. This is so hard for them. Tell them, honor parents. Esav was very good with honoring parents. He was excellent with this. Why do you tell them, don't kill? It's so hard for him. Why do you tell Ishmael, don't steal? It's so hard for him. If you want to give them the Torah, give them the beauty of the Torah. Why the hardest thing that's so hard for them? But no. We learn here that the Torah, when Hashem gives the Torah, it's not the logic. If you understand, you will accept. If you don't, you don't. And you have to do it, you have to do it. I'll come to it in a second. I want to go back and tell you about Abraham and Sarah. It says, when Hashem wanted to give the Torah, Hashem tells, Ko tomar le Bet Yaakov v'taged lebnei Israel. First, when I want you to give the Torah, he says, Moshe, first talk to the ladies. Then speak to the men. Then tell them the Torah. Hello? Why first to the women? Because women are the one that teach Torah, okay, you won't teach them about maybe the Ten Commandments and stuff, but you inherit them the way of Torah from birth. While you're nursing your child, you sing songs and you teach him, and all this you teach from young age the baby. The father usually is not around. Usually he's not so much involved in raising the child from young age. Then the father comes later on. So when Moshe needs to give to speak with the Am Yisrael, with the Jewish nation, first he talks to the woman. That's what Hashem asked him to do. Ladies, a mitzvah of family purity, for example, okay? If this mitzvah is done with purity, if this mitzvah, on top of, let's say, keeping mikvah and doing this, the relationship between husband and wife is also with lots of love, understanding, respecting, appreciating. The child that comes out from this relationship after mikvah and after all this beautiful kind of relationship is such a high quality of neshama, of a soul that the child gets, that he has a great potential just to grow and become a better and better person. So already, as we do it in the right way, okay, we can already start so much higher. Our children can start so much higher because the way that we conduct with each other. Okay, that's number one. If the house is kosher, and kosher I mean not only food that's kosher, because whatever you eat, it affects your children, it affects your purity, it affects your neshama, but also the atmosphere of the house. I don't know, if you put all kind of music, if the internet is on all day and you can watch all kind of stuff, you have all kind of shows at the house and the TV is on and so on, so much harder then. I was by a family recently, and I came in because I needed to talk. She wanted to ask me a few questions, and I was there. And she keeps sending the child to the TV, kind of leave me alone, just be busy, take care of yourself. You know, the child is, I don't know how old he is, maybe 3, he's not really a big boy. And he's constantly by the TV because the mother doesn't have it. She cannot spend so much time with the baby. We'll talk about this later, how important it is to give time and spend time with the children and invest time with them. We'll talk about this. But so much important is the atmosphere of the house, because the children, they absorb everything. They feel it. They have a strong antenna, and they get it. In Masechet, huh?
That's so true.
In Masechet, yeah. I saw a story which is so strong, and I'm sorry that I'm saying that, but I heard it from few sources this week, and I said to myself, I heard it few sources, I have to talk about this. It says about Rabbi Tarfon. Rabbi Tarfon lived at the time of Rabbi Akiva, okay? 2,000 years ago. So his nephews are coming to visit him. And they keep quiet. So Rabbi Tarfon starts saying, it says about Abraham that he continued and took a woman that her name is Yochani. And they said, no, her name was Keturah. This is what is written in the Torah. It doesn't say her name was Yochani. Her name was Keturah. And the question is, why did he say that her name was Yochani? Who is Yochani and what is Yochani? So he wanted to teach his nephews some kind of a very deep idea. Mm-hmm. It says about Keturah that Keturah means 2 different meanings. One meaning is that her deeds were nice, like the Ketoret. Ketoret is the incense, the spices. Yeah. And the other thing is that she used to sacrifice spices to idol worshipping. 2 meanings. Okay? Or one of the rabbis says both of them together. She used to have a nice deeds like a Ketoret, but also she used to do it for idols. And it says in Masechet Sotah about a woman by the name Yochani. This woman, she was a witch. And she was known by everyone that she's a great tzaddiket, a very, very righteous woman that keeps praying all day long in her chambers for the health of people and for their wealth and for all kind of problems that they have. And let's say somebody comes to her and she tells her, you know, I'm pregnant and I'm due in 3 months from now in this and this date. So she, you know, I told her she was a witch. She used to go and make some witchcraft and close her luck for that day. Okay? And when she comes and she wants to give birth, it's so hard and it's so hard and it's hours and hours and hours pass and she suffers. And you know, the medicine wasn't so developed like today. And it's dangerous sometimes. So they would come to her and tell her, please, Yochani, please pray for us, please, please, please. And they would put her some money or something, whatever. And then she would go back to her chamber, unlock this witchcraft that she used to do. And all of a sudden she gives birth very easy. And people used to say, Kol hakavod to you, Hani, you're so great, you're so special, you're so tzaddiket, that in 1 second you're able to pray to Hashem and Hashem listens to you. Okay? So this, the Chazal, our sages, they demonstrate this double-faced woman by the name Yochani. That's how we call it. Every time when Rabbi Tarfon or anybody, he says Yochani, they mean double-faced. Okay? Shows off something, inside something else totally. And why did Rabbi Tarfon say that? He said, you want to know who exactly was Keturah, this wife of Abraham? Look at her children. Who were all her children? All her children are of the Avodah Zarah. They're all idol worshippers. From this you know who was the mother. If you see that all the children are idol worshippers, it means that there was some kind of a defect, some kind of a problem by the mother. Okay? And so, if you want your child to be modest, you have to be modest. If you want your child to be truthful, to be, you know, true, not saying lies, you don't say lies. Sometimes, and it's very common, it happens. You have a guest over and you're so happy and you talk and you talk and you schmooze. You even prepare her some kind of a meal, you open a table for her and you talk and everything is nice. The minute that she leaves, you complain about her, you talk about her, you make fun of her, you look at her, she thinks like this or whatever you tell, and that your child sees everything. What does it think about you right now?
Yochani.
Huh? Well, when he saw or she saw that you're so pleasant and you're accepting guests and you open the table, so beautiful, it's a mitzvah, why not? But when he sees that you make fun of her afterwards, so he learns what does it mean to be hypocrite, he learns what does it mean to lie, he learns what does it mean to say slander and lashon hara and that's what he learns. So this is what we say, everything affects them. Everything, and we have to be so careful, you know, with this kind of a thing. So I'll give you another story, which is a very, very strong one. During World War II, a lot of parents were trying to save their children because the Nazis, they killed, they wanted to kill everyone. So if the parents could save their kids, fine. If not, whenever they saw that there was no choice, they went to the local church and they asked the church to save them, to keep the kids by them. And then after...
They were okay with that? They used to keep the kids?
And after, they asked them that after the war, they would come and pick up their children.
People, right?
And so... they agreed, why not? In Christianity, there's a mitzvah to convert people to Christianity, so why not? If we can make more Jewish souls become Christians, it's better. And so, war was over, and when the parents or family of the parents were trying to claim for these children again, the church wasn't so thrilled with giving them away. And so, give me a proof. Give me this. How would they prove? How would they prove them that this is purposely, especially these children, they were small, they were young ages. After, 3, 4, 5 years being in the church, who remembers what was there before? Besides, they forced them to learn their, let's say, their prayers, and they teach them all kind of stuff and whatever. It's very, very hard. So a group of rabbis are coming, and they want to save the children, and they say, we don't care what you're asking, because we don't know. They give them listed names with list and everything. They don't care. So the rabbis decided we're going to come at around the sleeping time. Sleeping time is around 6, little kids. We're going to come then. By the time of their sleep, usually kids after supper, after taking brushing teeth or whatever, they say their prayers before the bed. They're kneeling on their knees and they say their prayers. When the rabbis saw that, they said, what can we do so that... So they started to call out, Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Every child from young age, their mother sat with them and said Kriyat Shema and said Malach HaGoel, our prayer, believe in Hashem and faith in Hashem. And all those children that from young age were abandoned in these churches, okay, they were crying out the rest of this verse or the rest of this pasuk, okay, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto L'Olam Va'ed, because they heard it with their mother. When they remember their mother, they used to keep saying it to them every night. And only these kids, the rabbis were able to say, because this is the proof that they are Jews. All the others, that the mother didn't invest time,